understand that as we move forward in our lives, as we build better boundaries, it's imperative for us to defend our destiny. And that's what Jesus did. He, with every step away from the crowd, he was defending his destiny. With every no to the noise, Jesus was defending his destiny. With every refusal to settle for the shortcut, Jesus was defending his destiny. And it brings us to the question today, and that is, how does Jesus defend his destiny? Well, I'm so glad that you asked today. I think it's a profound point that I want to make, just one. And that is, Jesus withdraws to stay aligned. He steps back to stay in God's will. Text tells us in verse 14, after the people saw the sign Jesus performed, they began to say, surely this is the prophet who is come into the world. Jesus, knowing that they intended to come and make him king by force, withdrew again to a mountain by himself. It's here in the text, my sisters and brothers, we come to see that Jesus is in the middle of a tension that exists while people are appreciating what he was able to do miraculously, they still don't have the capacity or understanding to respect what God called him to do. They see the result of his gifts, but don't take the time to honor the God who gave him the gifts in the first place. Here we find Jesus operating in the power, his divine power. Here we see Jesus operating to make life easier for brothers and sisters who are gathered here in this place. And what we come to see is that there's a misinterpretation to the point that people no longer care about what Jesus wants, but rather they intend to make him king by force. They intend to make him the Messiah that they want him to be, instead of allowing him to live out the call that God had for his life. He, instead of going into conflict, instead of him moving into an argument, instead of him telling them off, what Jesus does at this point is that he withdraws to a mountain by himself. Now, my sisters and brothers, I'm going to give you a little tidbit about the text, because if you read down a little further, Jesus is the same person who addresses not only the people who are going around looking for him, but Jesus also loses followers in the process based upon what he says. But before he deals with that, before he addresses them, before he helps to correct their messed up theology, Jesus takes some time to practice good self-care.